We have Chelsey Schultz here today. Before we get started, as always, thank you, Father, for this day and the opportunity for another incredible conversation with this lovely young professional. And we're going to talk about the charity that touches her heart most. Chelsey Schultz with us today. Number one, she started Crystal Clear Copy, this fabulous marketing agency as a young professional. She's moved out to Florida, the Sunshine State, because she did not anyway, it just called to her. And she started this wonderful marketing firm. It's a boutique marketing firm, and she'll tell you more about that. But what she really wants to share today is the charity that touches her heart, and it's called Socks. First of all, how cute is that? And that is Saving Our Cats and Kittens Community. And she's going to share with us all about this today. So if you are a cat owner, if you're a kitty cat lover, or if you just want to make a difference, she's going to share with us today um, a way that you can do that, and I'm so excited for you all to meet her. So thank you for joining us, you incredible audience. Thank you, Chelsey, for being here. And tell us everything. What in the world? First of all, you're a very young founder of this wonderful marketing agency, and you're already making a difference, you and your entire community, with the Socks organization. So tell us how all that came to be, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you said, I am the founder of Crystal Clear Copy, and we've been official since 2020. Prior to that, I was a freelancer, I was a teacher, and I just had a love of words. And that's what led to us becoming a marketing agency and getting to help small businesses and agencies reach out to their audiences and spread their love and their message to the world. So, incredibly excited to still be doing that. And with that, we are able to help Save Our Cats and Kittens Socks. And I'm so excited to get to talk to it about it with you guys. So I'm gonna throw it back to Carol and see what question does she want me to answer first.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Been up and running for quite some time now.
Yes.
So, right out of school, you worked for a very short period of time. And what inspired you to go out on your own? And when you answer that, would you also let us know, I guess in this day and age, you can work globally.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what inspired you to go out on your own? Because it's not easy.
No, it's not. And I lived a very unconventional life. So I did the conventional track, graduated from school, went to college, got my degree. However, instead of joining the corporate world that was to be expected, I ended up moving overseas and working as an English as a foreign language teacher. And that led to a whole host of adventures. After my stint in South Korea, I ended up living out of a backpack for a few years, traveling the world as an international pet sitter, which just reinforces that love of cats. And I was able to go all over the world, and it's what led to me becoming a freelance writer, which when COVID hit in 2020, my practice got grounded of being an international pet sitter. Obviously, no one was going anywhere. So at that point, I had been freelance writing for about a year, and it was my sign to buckle down and actually make it official. So I went from just working the odd jobs to crafting a whole copywriting agency, a whole content marketing agency. And here we are 5 years later and still going strong.
Wow, congratulations. And you know what, we're going to do a show. I think it's kind of random that I know three international pet sitters. You
Oh,
know,
small job market, but
I mean, seriously. So you know what? I'm going to reach out to them and let's do a group podcast and talk about that. I find it fascinating. And now that, the world has opened up again, um,
Mhm.
I think a lot of people might be interested in that. It's amazing. Just so you know, audience, You basically can travel for free,
Mhm,
stay in incredible homes for free,
mhm.
take care of these precious loved ones, these, fur babies that mean the world. A fur baby is part of your family, right? And
Absolutely.
it mean the world to these families. It's fascinating. I actually ended up on a boat one time with a couple that has traveled the world doing that. So anyway, fabulous.
Another
And
story for another day.
and also I want to congratulate you. The fact that you left to share English in the world and that you're a teacher,
Mhm.
thank you.
I appreciate it.
There's nothing like, that, the sharing, teaching. I don't know if everyone knows this, but we're all teachers by our
Mm,
example each and every day. However, I really want to say thank you at this time of year to all the teachers that are in the classrooms and traveling the world, making such a difference. So thank you for that, Chelsea. Um,
mm,
well, that is wonderful. So before we move on, give the audience a little bit of information. Working with someone virtually
mhm.
with your marketing, with their marketing, um, how does that work? And how does that relationship, are you able to build a nice, strong relationship and really understand their branding and all the things?
Yes, absolutely. It's one of those amazing things. People think that communication has to be face to face, but there's so much that you can learn about someone over an intercom like this or a virtual platform. We get to know our clients on such a deep level by understanding their branding. We really dive into it to learn what their core mission is, what their values are, so that they can demonstrate that message to their audience. So not only do we get to see them on like the face to face and have fun interactions and share stories, but we get to learn about the core of their being, which is so telling. And we don't always get that in face to face interactions out in the world. People feel much more comfortable behind a computer or behind a phone. They're more willing to share, and it's a safe space versus standing next to the water cooler awkwardly chatting with someone in the office. This is a wonderful opportunity to get to meet people, especially people you would never get to meet. I have clients all over the United States, and to form these relationships with people I would never have the opportunity to meet in real life is just incredible. So we have such a good time creating this long-term relationship with our clients and helping them bring their vision to life through words to show their audience and to connect with their audience and their people to get their products and services out there.
I love that so much because as a storyteller and really a believer that we educate through stories, I love that you're creating this safe space for people to share who they are and help them to tell their stories, help them to tell the story of their products, the story of their businesses, whatever that may be. Very cool. And audience, just know that you will have all of, Chelsea's information if you want to speak to her professionally, and or if you want to speak to her about our next conversation, which is about socks.
Hmm.
Why in the world? Okay, kitty cats.
Yep.
How, very specific that and love the love of a kitty cat. Not everybody
Mhm.
does love a kitty cat. There, other people would say, "Oh no, I'm only a dog person." But the bottom line is, surely we're all animal people. So tell us a little of that story and how we can support. What does socks ultimately do?
Yes, absolutely. So, to take you on a little history lesson, I guess, I've been helping cats for as long as I can remember. They've always been near and dear to me. I've always been a cat person. And I even remember my eighth grade project. I raised funds for a local cat shelter. And it's just been a part of my life, being a pet sitter, being involved with animals. And the story really began a few years back. My husband works at a car dealership, and they had found a little kitten in a tailpipe. and it was this little black fluff ball, and he was given the nickname Soot and or Soot, and they didn't know what to do with him. Like, it's a bunch of tech guys out there holding a little kitten going, what do we do? One of the workers at the dealership, her sister was actually the vet tech at Socks. And so she said, take the kitten to Socks. They will take care of the kitten. So they did. And my husband came home and he told me this story, and he's like, I think Socks is really cool. We should do something for them. And I was like, okay, game on, let's go. So we started off by just going once a month with supplies. We were a young couple, we weren't even married yet, and we didn't have much to offer other than supplies. So we would bring them supplies once a month. And the more that we learned about them, we started attending their events, and being a copywriter and working in the marketing space, I offered to start helping them with theirs for free, pro bono. I'll help you. We believe in this. What can I do for you behind the scenes? So we started helping them with their website, and we've been writing their newsletter for almost a year now. And then one day, we were thinking about what we could do more, and it was coming up to be my birthday, which is in September. And I was like, why don't we just do like a birthday fundraiser? I'm not a big present getter kind of girl. I'd rather just have people donate to Socks.
Yeah.
So we set up like impromptu this little online fundraiser, be like, hey, it's my birthday. Send money to Socks, please. And the turnout was astounding. I couldn't believe how much money we raised. And I was like, okay. So we did it again the next year. Year 2 raised even more money. And we were shocked again at the turnout. And I was like, okay, well, now I'm on a roll. We're going to make it bigger and better. So the third year, which was last year, we decided kind of last minute to hold a raffle and supply drive event, like an in-person event to go with the online fundraiser. And that, again, the turnout was incredible. The community came together. They did a wonderful thing. And so now we're on year 4, and it's going to be even bigger and better. But to tell you a little bit about Socks. So Socks, Save Our Cats and Kittens, is located here in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, on the Panhandle. And they're a 501c company, or nonprofit organization, for the main goal of helping the welfare of cats. So they do everything from taking in cats and rehoming them to doing trap, neuter, and return (TNR) policies of trying to decrease the community cat population or help them become healthier. And they also do a lot of policy advocacy within the local government to try and make better policies for our cats here. They're a really wonderful company, or nonprofit organization, and they've been around since 1993. So they're a year older than I am, and they've been going at it for over 30 years, and they're doing a wonderful job.
Oh my goodness. You know what? Happy birthday month.
Thank you. It
That
is
is
my birthday fundraiser month. We're gonna do good this year.
well, it sounds like you've done really well every year since you started. This is what a cool thing to do for your birthday, first of all. And I'll tell you, it's really something, all the animals that just don't, it's just terrible. There's so many that need homes, that need shots, that need food. I mean, all the things, right? So thank you for doing this for the kitty cats. And is this 100% cat specific? No
Yeah,
other animals. You don't,
no other animals.
no
They
other
are
animals.
they are a cat only, no kill shelter. So they only take care of felines, and they only practice the cat advocacy. I know that a lot of shelters in our area are dogs and cats and other animals that need
Certainly.
help,
Yeah.
but cats are super underrepresented in the pet community. A lot of people have cats in their homes. They're actually right up there as like the top pets to have, but they're super underrepresented, and especially in care and monetary donations and helping. It's kind of sad. I know everybody loves dogs. Dogs get all the love, but cats need love too. And
Oh, I love kitty cat. I love dogs and I love cats. So, you know, I think most people that love dogs, you know what I mean? I will say a lot of people and a lot more people are allergic to cats than to
Me
dogs.
too.
And you're allergic to cats?
Allergic to cats.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
I
funny.
am. Um, Funny story. When we went to get my first cat, I have to do an allergy test on my cats to see if I am gonna have an allergic reaction to them. So I actually take my forearm and I rub it on the cat and see if I get hives. So with
Yeah.
both of my cats, I do not, but I'm still allergic to them. So that's always fun. You can bet
Oh
that I
my
vacuum like crazy in my house.
goodness. And I will say, because I do love puppy dogs and kitty cats and, all the same, to be honest, they're easier.
They
I
are.
will say they're easier. They are very independent and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
However, I do love kitty cats and puppy dogs. Anyway,
Mhm.
that is incredible. How many kitty cats do you own?
I only have two. I
Only
have two.
two. Two is a lot.
Only two. Or because I am allergic to cats, I do have to limit the amount. If I wasn't, I would probably be a cat shelter in and of myself, much to the dismay of my husband, but we're trying to keep it small and refocus our efforts elsewhere, like through this fundraiser. Yeah. I would love
It,
to have more though.
that is, I mean, that's impressive. I'm going to tell my niece who is severely allergic to kitty cats. She said, please, no more cats, please. Let me ask you a question. Please share with me, with the audience. I mean, you need time, talent, and treasure, right? Shelters, shelters just do. I love that it's a no-kill shelter. That's wonderful. How many kittens, cats are there right now? Do you know, just out of curiosity?
So it does fluctuate throughout the year, of course. On average, on a monthly average, Socks in particular houses anywhere from 100 to 120 cats at any given time through their shelter and their foster system. In kitten season, you can add another 50
Wow.
easily.
Wow.
They get hundreds of kittens every year that need homes.
Wow.
So I could actually share with you a little information that's kind of sad and good all at the same time. You ready?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So in 2024, I looked at the numbers and 761 cats were brought into Socks.
Wow.
The 761 just for Socks, and they're not the only animal shelter in the area. And of those 761 cats, 104 were owner surrenders, meaning that the owner had to give up the cat for a variety of reasons. It could be that they passed away or were no longer able to care for them or
Mm,
simply didn't want them. So the 104 came from owners. 268 strays were found and brought in, the large chunk of those being kittens. Very commonly, mama cats are found while they are pregnant or while they are about, or they have just given birth to a litter. And so they have tiny itty bitty bottle feeding kittens that they have to take care of. And then dozens more were actually transferred in to Socks from other shelters and other welfare societies across Florida and the Southeast area. And some of those were actually from hurricane rescue. So, for example, we had Hurricane Milton this year. And when a hurricane comes through, just like humans have to evacuate, so do
mm,
all of the animals in the shelters.
mhm,
And that sheer number, they get dispersed among shelters across the rest of Florida. And Socks took in quite a few hurricane cats this year. But of those cats, you know, unfortunately, some of them come in severely injured or
mhm,
ill, and they
mhm,
don't always make it, even though it's a no-kill shelter.
mhm,
They do everything in their power to save the kitties. Sometimes it doesn't happen, and that's
mhm.
incredibly sad. And they have a wonderful memorial wall in the shelter for those who don't
Oh,
make it.
oh.
But of those 761 cats last year, 589 of them have found their forever homes.
Wow, congratulations, socks.
Isn't that wonderful? And that was just as of like January. So we're now in September of 2025. A good chunk of those remaining cats have found their homes too.
That's incredible. I
It
mean,
is.
that wonderful, and congratulations to you and the socks organization. Yay.
Yeah, the numbers are so staggering. When people think of a shelter, they think
Oh,
of a couple dozen, but we're talking hundreds and hundreds of cats. And, it cost $40,000 to run the shelter per month, monthly, like 40, $40,000.
that's hard to believe.
I know, right? But if you think about the property, the electricity, all of the food, the veterinarian care, I mean,
Sure.
it's just wild. Lots of cats need surgeries and medication and all. It's crazy. It's
How
so
large
wild.
is the staff?
It's a primarily volunteer staff, so they have a board of directors that is run by volunteers. There's very few paid members of staff, primarily the vet techs, because they do work there full time. But
Sure.
other than that, it's a mostly volunteer base. So
Amazing.
they have a team, I think, of 10 to 20 people,
Wow.
plus a whole network of foster parents. So I want to give huge credits to all the people who foster the cats. There are dozens of people who take in fosters, and they're actually doing a social media campaign right now talking about the different foster parents and how many cats that they've fostered. And it's wild. I mean, they've 20, 30 fosters over the course of their foster career. It's incredible what they do, bringing these cats into their homes. I'd be a foster fail. I know I couldn't do it. I'd just keep them all.
It's unbelievable. I have a precious friend, Greta, and the puppy dogs. She takes those dogs in and has her special area for the fosters. I mean, unbelievable. Anyway, it's just really what an incredible organization. Thank you. Thank you to all that are involved in any shelters, actually, I want to say, because I have a dear friend as well in another city, but Vivian, who is very active in making sure that animals get homes. I mean, unbelievable. Thank you for your time, Chelsey, and your
Yes,
birthday
absolutely.
month, the month of your big gala. And
Hmm.
I know that we will put all the links
Yes,
out there. Do you want to say anything before we close this
I
wonderful
would love to.
conversation?
I would love to. First, I want to thank everybody who made it to the end of the podcast episode for listening. Your care really means a lot to me. And I know you guys don't know me from Eve. I'm just a small business owner in a small town trying to make a small difference. And that's why I just come to you guys with a small request. So we talked about, 761 cats. That's a lot. So what I'm asking, if your audience is willing and you have $7.61 that you're willing to part with, just a penny a cat for 2024, if you would be willing to donate it to the fundraiser for socks, I would be most appreciative. It's less than the cost of a large Starbucks fancy coffee, but $7.61 could feed a kitten for a couple of days. If we got 7 people to do it, it could do a whole vaccination series. If we got 10 people to donate $7.61, it could be a low cost spay and neuter. And just every penny counts. So if you guys are willing, I would really appreciate it. And so would all the kitties at Socks.
That is wonderful. Okay, audience, we can do that. And the other thing is very cool, Chelsey, that you started out, you and your husband, and you would take supplies.
Thank you.
And well, first of all, that the guys in the garage took soot to
Mm-hmm.
be cared for. Very cool story. And I love thinking about that, fellas taking care of this precious kitten. I mean,
I know, it's adorable, isn't
wonderful. And
it?
and how that one kitten has changed the lives, saved lives of many, many kittens.
Yes,
Thank you, audience. Thank you, Chelsey. I
thank
just
you, Carol.
I really appreciate it. Happy, happy birthday. And as always, thank you, Father. Hook 'em. You take care.